From Wall Street to Main Street, this is LALATE.
It's a big evening here on Evenings LALATE, this Father's Day special evenings broadcast. As your fourth stimulus check of 2021 today heats up. The voting starting next week. The excitement unfolding as we go over the monthly stimulus check the Democrats want you to have, and we'll go over the voting process as well in this big Sunday broadcast. Then we turn to FIS stimulus, which raises your benefits up a lifetime and applies a benchmark and adds an inflationary benchmark plus a stimulus check. We'll go over why that inflationary benchmark may be sending your benefits even higher than initially thought. Then we turn to thousands of dollars that viewers continue to get, and it's your day to get it as well. It's a big night. It's a big evening. I'm excited for all the big news. I'm excited for you and the fathers across the country. Let's get to it, starting right now on Evenings LALATE. It's Sunday night. Hope you've had a beautiful, wonderful weekend. Tell me how the weather is where you are and where you're tuning in from. I know there's been a very bad heat wave in some parts of the country, and of course that tropical storm. So hopefully you're having good weather. Jump in the live chat right now and tell me where you're watching from and how's the weather. In this first stimulus check update of 2021 tonight, this Sunday night, we'll be going over that monthly stimulus check that the Democrats want you to have. And the breaking news, as the voting is starting. The voting is starting next week. I'll be going over everything you need to know about this voting process and the reconciliation. Away we go. Then we cut to FIS stimulus that heats up with breaking news across the board about this as well. And that is especially the benefits lift by inflation. And then we also have a FIS stimulus check. I'll have the details on that in this video additionally. Then we turn to the big money of thousands of dollars the viewers continue to get. It's your day to get it as well. This is LALATE, the only 24-hour-a-day, 7 days a week financial news channel in America, live in the morning, taped in the afternoons. I was taped right before this with Afternoons LALATE. And right after this video, stay with it, because after this video ends immediately, overnight's crypto will be airing. And last night broke all records of this channel as the cryptocurrency market collapsed or struggled severely overnight. We'll see what's going on until tomorrow's morning. So subscribe. 400,000 subscribers, a YouTube record, fastest growing channel there is on YouTube. Like this video. 3,000 likes. Don't forget to like the video. It delivers free pizza. I'm just trying to, I don't know if that's true, but you know, like the video and maybe you'll get garlic toast and consider becoming a member. Let's get right into that fourth stimulus check heating up right now with a monthly check from both the House and a monthly check from both the Senate. Let's compare and contrast and understand how they're slightly different. The House bill provides a stimulus check for the remainder of the pandemic plus 1 year. The House proposal provides a stimulus check from July to December. Let's go over the payouts. House, $1,000 after first month, $2,000. Senate, monthly unknown, but word on the street is this. Wow, $2,000 a month over 6 months, $12,000 a person, or $1,400 a month over 6 months, $8,400 a person. If you're on the live chat just after 5 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, get ready to vote House or Senate and tell me where you're tuning in from. But first, let's look back at this. Yeah. Pandemic plus 1 year. Well, the legislators may contend there's only 1 year left. That would mean that you would get 12 checks over 12 months, $13,000 from the House versus this from the Senate over 6 months. I think you have an opinion. Jump in the live chat right now. House or Senate, tell me where you're tuning in from. And how's the weather? Vote right now, House or Senate, and tell me where you're tuning in from. Well, Sunday red for golf and crashing crypto, and seeing the red of their eyes to ensure that there are still stimulus checks. Let's go over what those Democrats want you to have. Four stimulus checks, well, they want everyone who had a third stimulus check to get a fourth. Single individual, 75,000 or less, they want you to have a fourth stimulus check. Married couple, 150,000 or less, they want you to have a fourth stimulus check, double it. Family of four, they want you to have a fourth stimulus check, those Democrats. Quadruple it. And if you're on benefits, SSI, SSDI, Social Security, Railroad benefits, Veterans benefits, they want you to have a fourth stimulus check. The fourth stimulus check is not income, so it is not a taxable event. And the fourth stimulus check is a check that comes on a monthly basis. It's not a waivable check. It doesn't come in waves. It's not waivable. So if you went out for Father's Day brunch with your family and saw the check at the next table with the check's mom and said, "Hey, check, happy Father's Day," and the check didn't wave back, you said, "How rude is that check? Hope you choke on your vegetable lasagna." It's not a waivable check. And, checks have feelings too, so don't be rude to the check. It's just not a waivable check. It's a monthly check. So there you go. The Democrats would be giving the stimulus check to you monthly, not waivable. And it would start in the month of July for the month of July, in the month of August for the month of August, because the final vote is in the month of July by July 4th. And there you go. That is the first of your 3 parts of your fourth stimulus check update of 2021 this Sunday on Father's Day. But coming up in the second part, we go over the breaking news happening just today, as there's a lot of people talking, and a couple of people should not be talking. Important people and important people. Yeah, that raw and unimportant people. It's coming up in the second half of this video. And then the third part of this video, we go over how to go over where the check provisions may get modified as the voting started next week. Those all details coming up. But first, a preview of the second half of this video. This stimulus, really a lot of breaking news on this one today. We got details about a fifth stimulus check, cash infusion to the agency to ensure you get checks on time. We have the raising of your benefits and the potential of a 10% lift lifetime. Boy, there's a lot of stuff coming up in the second half of this video, but let's get to the big money. And that's what this channel does. I give people money. This is not the Stimulus Psychic Network. I'm not Mr. Cleo. I'm not Mrs. Cleo. And I'm not, I'm not a former pop singer turned psychic either. So yeah, that's not what I do here. I give people money, and boy, I got a lot of money to get you. So get a pen and paper ready. And if it must be Crayola Crown, then at least match my red shirt for Sunday. Stay with me to the very end of this video. I'm going to go over a lot of money I can get for you. And we're going to start with the rent, utilities, mortgage assistance, and homeowners utilities. It's exciting. It starts with $5,000 for rent, approximately 4 to 6 months of rent. Where do you get it? First, I'm going to show you that the eligibility is different everywhere. So if you reach out to one place and says, no, don't worry, reach out to the next spot. They all have their own pots of money. All right, you ready with that pen and paper or a red Crayola Crown? Here we go. You're going to reach out to your city hall, city housing authority, county hall, county housing authority, state hall, state housing authority. And the key words you're going to say are rent assistance because of COVID, rent assistance because of COVID, or mortgage assistance because of COVID. You don't say words that they don't know, like stimulus or Nancy's hairstyle. They just don't know that, or they don't really want to know about it. It's just a bad visual. Just don't want to know about it. I don't want to know about it. Don't mention it to me with the rent department here. So only talk about stuff that they know. And viewers continue to get this money. Tim got this money. Linda got this money. And it's your chance to get this money as well. That's what I do on this channel. I got viewers $25 million of EIDL loans last year to save their businesses, their homes, and their employees' homes, as the pandemic was just ravaging. And then in fall 2020, I got viewers $250,000 of rent as we were waiting for second stimulus. Well, now we're waiting for fourth stimulus. It's time to get this money. If you haven't got it, time for you to get it today. And if you've gotten a penny from this channel, jump in the live chat and say what you got, because it inspires me and inspires other viewers. So jump in the live chat right now, say what you got from this channel, because it helps inspire other people. I got inspired this week as one viewer got $5,000 for this next thing. Last week, someone got $6,000 to $7,000. What is it? It's SNAP. It is money for your food. It comes from the Department of Agriculture. DOA, reach out to them. How much does it pay? A fortune. About $16,000 for a family of 4 now in Hawaii. Yes. Why so much money? Because of 2 executive orders, one from Biden, one from Trump, that raise your benefits up 15% between now and December. So go get it. Len Glenn got it for herself and her son and her mom and Gail got it as well. Well, there you go. $16,000 for SNAP. $5,000 approximately for rent. You're killing it. I'm killing it. We're all killing it. The checks, he's still not waving. We're at the 10-minute mark. I got more money for you right now, and it's $5,000 approximately. One viewer got $5,000 for it. What is it? It's money coming back from your states. The federal government has identified states as owing you money for overpaid unemployment due to computer error. Not your computer, please. Your computer works fine. It's their darn computer. So the federal government has ordered states to return the money back to you. Congratulations, one viewer got $5,000 from this. Where are you going to get it? To the account you have on file with the state unemployment department. When are you going to get it? Reach out to your respective state to find tracking information and make sure they don't track it with the same computer. There you go. It's Windows 98. It's just, at least upgrade to Vista. All right, let's cut to the big final pot of money, and it's coming back from federal government IRS. And congratulations to Cod, Margaret, and everyone else, Michael, who got this as well. If you got this money, additionally, jump in the live chat and say you got it. So this is the money on the refund from IRS of that taxes for 2020. Let's go over when, where, and how to track it. First, when or how much. Well, this is exciting. Let's say you had $9,000 of total unemployment benefits. You paid $5,000 of your tax bill, of which $4,000 was your taxes on unemployment assistance. Congratulations, you're getting back $4,000. Where? To either direct deposit, if that's what was on your return, or by the mail. When? This month. And can you track it? Yes, about 70% of the time you can. Go to irs.gov, set up a username and password, go in there, and do a transcript search. 70% of the time it works. You'll be shocked what it will reveal. It will reveal the tax return you filed, the taxes you paid, your ex-girlfriend's new job, the pizza you ordered for lunch, your boss's favorite beer, and then it'll also reveal the check you're coming from IRS and refund. Oh, wonderful, good news. It also gives you directions to a San Francisco hairstyle. So there you go. Let's cut to the big second part of our fourth stimulus check updated 2021, and starting right now. It starts with exciting news that the voting is started. Tomorrow, the reconciliation voting process officially starts. Now, whether the first vote is done tomorrow or a day after, we don't know, but the voting process begins. This means that the bill, currently under recon for several weeks, will go to the finish line, and will hit that finish line by July 4th. Now, here's one thing you need to know, is that there are other bills going for votes tomorrow. And unless you listen really carefully to the news, and they've been doing this lately, they'll say Biden's bill goes for a vote, and Joe Manchin are like, which bill? Well, Biden's bill. I'm like, which bill you talking about? Oh, the voting bill. Yeah, they're calling a vote on the voting bill. As if that's not even more confusing. So that's not our bill. So just have to watch very carefully and listen for the word infrastructure for stimulus, because otherwise you don't know which one it is. All right, so what is exciting news? Jalapal speaking out, the president speaking out. They are rubbing each other's backs. They're braiding each other's hair. And let me go over the incredible details. It started with Jalapal with a double negative sentence, which is just confusing people because it's bad grammar. I mean, they're legislators. They're not English teachers. So this is what Jalapal said. The White House has not in any way told me not to do what I'm doing. I love that. But I need to explain it to you because it's confusing, because it's double negative. And then another progressive of another double negative. I guess the progressives just love these double negative sentences. The White House has repeatedly reassured him that the White House considers the progressive bill their own priorities, and the White House has not asked him to not do what he's doing. Again, with this double negative sentences, I'm not going to maybe not always not going to translate that for you. Yeah, boy, English teachers. So let me explain to you what this means. Fourth stimulus has two provisions in there that the president wants in there dramatically. Now, let's recap. Fourth stimulus is written by legislators because it's a bill. The president doesn't write bills. He's a president. He doesn't write bills. Legislators legislate. But presidents recommend what they want in there. And sometimes they say, it better be in there or else. And the or else is a veto. And in the case of or else this time, it's climate, number one, and two, the CARES economy. They are both progressive policies. No one disputes that they are progressive policies. So the president has said they are in there or else. And so guess what? Jalapal said, yes, Mr. President, they're in there. So don't worry. I got it. I got this covered for you. I'm a progressive, and I got your 2 progressive policies in there. And his response is, I love you, Jalapal. Thank you, Jalapal. Now, to which his thank you back to her is, and you can do whatever progressiveness you want to do in the bill as well. Of course, she's already writing the bill, so she would have done what she wanted to do. But what is her progressive provision that she wants in there? Progressive policy? Stimulus checks, those monthly stimulus checks. So the president, has his 2 progressive policies in there, put in by Jalapal. He's a happy camper. And she has her progressive policy in there, and she's a happy camper. And there you go. But boy, the exciting details is starting even further back. And it started when Leader Schumer announced the Friday before Memorial Day weekend 3 wonderful things. 1, we are currently under recon. 2, we're going to finish recon by July 4th. And 3, we're going to finish with an approval. Well, how did we get to that wonderful spot? When Jalapal wrote Schumer a letter about a week ago. And Jalapal said, Chuck, call the vote. Call the vote, Chucky. Well, he's calling the vote. And 12 House Democrats co-signed the letter. Those 12 House Democrats are among the 100-plus House Democrats who written the president a letter a week earlier saying, Mr. President, we're going to be putting monthly stimulus checks at the 4th stimulus package. Wow. Now, that is good news. Can we top that? We can't top that. When 7 House Democrats wrote the president a letter saying, Mr. President, when we write up the 4th stimulus legislation, we're going to be putting monthly stimulus checks in there. Wow, who are these people to say that? What do they do for a living? Who are these people exactly? Who are you? Well, these are people who are responsible for writing stimulus checks. They are on the House subcommittee that's solely and exclusively responsible for giving stimulus checks to you in America. They wrote the first stimulus check. They wrote the second stimulus check. They wrote the third stimulus check. And they represent their writing the 4th stimulus check. And that they're currently marking up the bill. Wow. And even better, they represent their writing a 5th stimulus check as well. OMG, now that's wonderful. Can we top that? We can top that. Biden did it a week ago yesterday. Biden did it by going overseas and getting a provision no longer needed in 4th stimulus into an international agreement, which makes it easier now to pass 4th stimulus, anchoring 4th stimulus to the edge of the finish line. It's no longer needed to have difficult provisions in there. They're now covered by the international agreement. Wow, now that's wonderful news. Let me explain how we got to that spot. We got to that spot on a recent Tuesday where the president said, you know what? I like 4th stimulus. I'm raising the U.S. corporate tax rate to pay for it. But I don't like the concern that I have, which is if I raise U.S. corporate tax rates, U.S. corporations may move overseas where the corporate tax rate is lower. So he reached out to those other countries to get them to raise the corporate tax rate, and they did. Tentatively, to which he said, I like this, he said to his legislators. I like how this is going. In December, let's book a flight and meet them and bring them some caramel coffee, popcorn for Halloween or Christmas. And when we do have them sign on the dotted line. Well, he did even better without popcorn. Last Saturday, not yesterday, but a week ago, he went overseas. Before 4th stimulus passed, not after 4th stimulus passed, but before, to get them to sign into law. And they did sign into law, anchoring 4th stimulus to the edge of the finish line. Now the provisions are in the international agreement. He doesn't need the stuff about international taxes that are covered by an international agreement, making it easier for the legislators to pass 4th stimulus. And it's now anchored to the edge of the finish line. It's wonderful, wonderful news. Is there anything more wonderful than that? Yes, it's the third part of your 4th stimulus check update coming up after the second half of this video. But first, and also 5th stimulus as well. But first, something even more wonderful, the volunteers. If you need help with rent, utilities, mortgage assistance, homeowners assistance, or anything like that, like SNAP, reach out to the volunteers. They embody the true Purple Power spirit, viewers helping viewers. How do you find them? Open the description of this video. Go down the description. Find the emoji of a house. Click on the emoji and the link to the community page. On the community page, you'll see some kitty cats. Lower on the page are the volunteers. Reach out to them. They'll get you help with rent, utilities, mortgage, internet, and SNAP. They can't do your dry cleaning. They can't take out your garbage. They can't do your hairstyle in a San Francisco hairstyle. And they can't invite you to Mitch's Lobster Fest. But other than that, they can do the things I covered earlier in this video. And here's a little bit about them coming up at the commercial break. I'll be back with you in 60 seconds with the big third part of your fourth stimulus check update and fifth stimulus as well. If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.la.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. Their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram individuals reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more. Join LALATE Daily for the excitement of the new LALATE live daily. The excitement starts on Mornings LALATE at 9 a.m. Home LALATE returns at 11 a.m. daily. And then afternoons LALATE at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica on LALATE. And the excitement continues right now on Evenings LA, direct from Santa Monica, California, on a big Sunday night of Father's Day. The U.S. Open has concluded. I'm here in your golf Sunday red. Crypto is down. We're seeing red. It's just a red day. It's just a red day. Putin would be happy. And with that, make sure you subscribe. 400,000 subscribers, a YouTube record. I want you part of this family. Hit that subscribe button right now. Like this video. 3,000 likes. Don't forget to like the video. Mornings LA, you really forgot to like the video. And noontime LA, you forgot to like the video. It was 10,000, 15,000 views in there and 1 like. It's like, wait a second, hit that like button. It delivers free pizza. Didn't you hear that? And it also brings you good weather. And consider becoming a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, Calcino, VIP. Boy, let's get to fifth stimulus starting right now. Meantime, stay with this video. When this video is over, it'll take you automatically into Overnight's Crypto right after the video ends. Fifth stimulus has a lot of breaking news. Number one, there will be a fifth stimulus check. When? January 2022. When to a vote? About November, October. When would we start to see drafting of it? Potentially in September. Number two, the president has dedicated $1 billion to Social Security Administration to ensure that your stimulus checks, benefits checks, all start going out on time, ending that debacle from earlier this year. Third stimulus was a mess. Where is my Direct Express by Comerica card? It didn't put on my Emerald Gold card. H&R Block. All these problems that people had about delivering their checks from Social Security Administration to whatever mechanism they had was because of staffing and computer systems. And so the president's dedicated $1 billion to ramp that up. Third, the big details, which is inflation. Inflation is the new benchmark for your fifth stimulus, raising up of your benefits a lifetime if you're on SSI, SSDI, and veterans benefits and other benefits. But how high is that inflation rate going to go? Well, last week we had the consumer price index and the producer price index on fire, red hot, signaling inflation's going high. Analysts were saying, currently, maybe 4% inflation, heading up, and maybe hitting about 10% for a temporary or transitory spike before it comes back down. Interesting. I'm going to go over the analysis of that in a second. Jay Powell, head of the Federal Reserve, appeared on Capitol Hill on Wednesday and said, I can't talk to you about inflation, but I think that the economy needs more supporting and needs more stimulus, and that we will have 2 interest rate hikes in 2 years from now. Well, then on Friday, the head of the Federal Reserve out of St. Louis, who's below Jay Powell, said much the reverse. There's two spikes will be next year. And then he says, I think inflation is red hot right now and maybe too hot. Okay, so tomorrow, Monday, we're going to see a lot of Wall Street analysts and certainly Wall Street's trading activity respond to the news of this concern that inflation is too red hot. How hot is it? It's hot enough to go into fist stimulus. Let me go over why inflation is wonderful for fist stimulus, because it's that SSI reform. First, they're going to raise your benefits up, then remove the asset limit, add the inflationary benchmark, then remove the income exclusion and remove the marriage penalty. Let's go over the details of this starting right now. First, it's important to understand how this calculation works out. It's very simple, but it's sort of a timing issue. First, they're going to raise your benefits up one time under fist stimulus. This is you if you're on SSI, SSDI, Social Security, railroad benefits, veterans benefits, survivor benefits, or SSA or multiple benefits. Then they apply that benchmark every December for next year. Your first application will be this December. Well, you have to hope that inflationary benchmark really hits that magnitude that many are thinking about, 10%, and that it hits it right about when they apply the benchmark. Because, boy, that's going to be a fortunes for you. It will raise your benefits up, not just if that happens 10% next year, but lifetime. Because once your benefits raise up, they never step down. It's wonderful news. It's categorically fortunes more than SS200. So you have to hope they get this done, they get this bill to a vote, they get it out the door, and they get all this done in time to get that inflationary pop in December. It's huge. It's very, very important. Then they're going to remove the asset cap that prevents you from having the stimulus checks in your hand and $3,000 in your hand. So that asset cap is going to go away, that 1980s law. Now you'll be able to have $3,000 in your hand or some stimulus checks and some tacos. They're going to remove the income cap that dating back to the 1960s law that says you can't work and stay on benefits. Now you'll be able to work and also stay on benefits. Finally, they're going to remove the marriage penalty. It penalizes you from being married and prevents you from getting married. So love is going to win. You'll be able to marry your longtime love interest and no longer lose benefits. Viewers like Rob and Sandy will be able to get married and no longer fear the marriage penalty. And there you go. That's your fist stimulus check update of 2021 today. But boy, there's a lot of money out there for you to get. There's thousands, tens of thousands of dollars of money in third stimulus for you to get. There's thousands of dollars proposed for you under fourth stimulus for you to get, and money for you to get under fifth stimulus. How do you know about all this? Is by becoming a member. The link's at the top of the chat and in the pinned comment. By becoming a member, you're delivered from me daily a breakdown of all the thousands of dollars you can get that is for you application based under third stimulus, under fourth stimulus, and under fifth stimulus. It's delivered to you from the community page on YouTube, written by me daily. It's really important to consider becoming a member because every day, especially today on Noontime, LALATE, someone jumped to the live chat and said, I don't have any kids, so will I get fourth stimulus checks? Well, not only do I say that every video, you should not be worried about kids' checks because that's third stimulus. This is fourth stimulus. Moreover, if you're waiting for those kids' checks for third stimulus, I hope you followed my advice of what you had to do back in May. And that was also something delineated in the membership details to viewers as well. So consider becoming a member, link at the top of the chat and pin comment. Which brings us now to the third and final update of fourth stimulus check update of 2021 in this video, and really exciting details. First, we'll be going over personal message. Second, we'll be going over the voting time. Third, we'll be going over false narratives with all these things are brand new for Sunday evening. And then we will be going over Purple Power Push. All right, first, a personal message. There was one person who jumped at the Noontime show today, and I let the comment sit there. You usually would delete the comment. The viewer said, hey guys, what do you think? Do you think we're going to get it? And no one responded to the person. I loved it because that's not what we do here. We don't sit around and guesstimate or give our opinions or speculate. Why? Because this is not a stimulus psychic network, and you should never be a stimulus psychic reader, whether it's at the water cooler, on the front porch, or talking to that friend at the gym. You don't know, and we don't know, if these legislators will eventually fall through on everything they've promised. Not my promise, their promise. And they are currently marking up the bill, which means that they have a copy of the bill and a pen in their hand. The pen has ink on one side and an eraser on the other side. So at any time, they could be writing something into the bill, or they could be removing something on the bill. Ultimately, they can make representations down to the last minute, but they may make those changes in the last minute. Let's go over the 9 voting steps it's important for you to see, because steps 5, 7, and 8 show you where they can make changes that are consistent with their prior positions or inconsistent with their prior positions. Step 1 is the House subcommittee calls a procedural vote for a bill. Step 2, the House subcommittee calls the House floor calls a procedural bill for a vote. Step 3, the Senate passes the procedural bill. And step 4, the President signs into law the procedural bill. At that point, the tow truck is passed over the finish line. Time to go back and get the tow hitch. Here we go. Step 5, the House subcommittee, they're going to give you a monthly stimulus check, goes to finish up marking up the bill and then calls the vote on the substantive bill. It's either in there, the stimulus checks, or it's not in there. Step 6 goes to a vote on the House floor. Here we go. Steps 7 and 8, critical final 2 steps, nearly. The 2-day vote-a-rama in the Senate, in which the Senate receives from the House whatever the House did in their bill. So, 3 possibilities. 1, House didn't put stimulus checks in there. Senators amend and add them in there. Number 2, House did put stimulus checks in there, and senators like it, so they're going to leave the bill alone. Or possibility 3, the House did put stimulus checks in there, and the senators don't like something, so they want to amend it. And then finally, step 9, the president signs into law. Fake narratives. Next week, fake narratives abound. And they started today. And they were all last week, but they're going to take a different form. And this is something you're going to hear for the first time tonight on Evenings LA. The form they take is when broadcast media is actually running correct stories, but the story is out of context, or they don't tell you the whole context of the story. So it's a narrowly focused story, and you think it's something when it's really the other version. They did this in the spring. In January, when we were waiting for third stimulus to go to a vote, Bernie Sanders said, I'm not voting for third stimulus unless there is a raise of the minimum wage in there. Otherwise, I'm voting against it. Or he said something perhaps like, instead of saying I'm voting against it, he said maybe something vague. I'm very disencouraged to vote in favor of it. It's sort of these vague sentences, vague adverbs. Sort of not a yes or no. It's sort of like, I don't really feel like doing this if it doesn't have minimum wage. And then what did broadcast media do? They ran his quote. It was a correct quote. That's what he said. That's what he meant. But guess what? They didn't run the whole context. The whole context is Bernie Sanders says this every time. He always says, I really, really would prefer this is in there. And I'm going to really try to, encourage people not to go forward unless they include minimum wage. And then they come to say, no, we're not doing it. Okay, all right, call the vote. So the article doesn't tell you that he always does that, and then he eventually just gives in, and then lets them vote on it. So I expect broadcast media to start doing more about that, doing more of this next week. They did today. One of the broadcast channels ran that story today, ran a version of that story, not Bernie, but ran a version of that story today. And it's an accurate story, but it does not show the whole context of the story. And so in totality, it's an inaccurate story. Next, the president is at fault with something, and really badly at fault, which is not stopping the chatter. The president, when he was in Geneva, Switzerland, appeared on that tarmac that one time and says, we're calling the vote next week, and I want to hear any more about this bipartisanship, which is stopping it as of Friday. And that was not this Friday. It was, I think, the Friday before that. It was last Friday. Well, guess what? Like right after he said that, he said something. He was asked again. Well, we heard from someone that wants to, propose something. Would you like to hear? Yeah, I like to hear different things. You can always talk to me about anything. Every time he closes the door and then he opens it up again. And guess what the broadcast media does? They run the quote, and it sounds like it's not going to recon. It sounds like, well, it is recon and it's something else, or it's recon or this, or it's recon and this. And it's like, it's only recon. It's only recon. But the president keeps on not closing the door. And by doing that, he's hurting himself badly. Why is he doing this? Broadcast media has not been able to figure out why. And in fact, one analyst, I think it was a Democratic consultant, said this doesn't make sense because what he's trying to do is not look good for the midterm elections by saying he did something partisan by doing a recon bill. Oh, hello, we're doing a recon bill in just a few days. When are you going to just accept you're doing something partisan? I mean, this is no reason not to accept the ultimate fate. Just you made the effort. You couldn't get it done by bipartisanship. Now let's move on. I mean, stop talking about this. And so why is this bad? Why is this clutter? Is this chatter, smog to the situation? Because of the unimportant people. Ron Portman, of course, put himself on broadcast media Sunday morning talking about your forced stimulus. Now, had the president shut the door in Geneva, said, I don't want to hear anything else about this, we're going to recon, then all Ron Portman could have said on Sunday morning is, well, he's acting partisanship. I mean, that's all he has said because he's not part of the vote. But Ron Portman wants to make himself sound like he's part of the vote. And because the president's not making it sound like what it really is, it's only going by reconciliation. And the president's not telling people to zip it. Here's the zipper. Zip it. I don't want to hear any more for you. And who's Ron Portman? He's the guy who did not want you to have a stimulus check or any FPUC in July of 2020 when you were losing your home, your business, your job, your car, everything. And he said, get back to work, you're lazy. Yeah, he's not. Oh. So what makes this muddied is that you know what's going on, we know what's going on, but press will be running stories every time that Ron Portman talks because the president didn't tell people to zip it. And that every time he gets a question, you're going to buy recon, but would you like to hear from Ron? Well, I'm willing to hear from anyone. And then, sure enough, there's Ron Portman with a comment. So until he stops that, the president, then that will continue. And finally, Purple Power Push, you've been doing a great job. Keep on pushing. Hashtag MSC, hashtag Purple Power. A week ago, 12 tweets in 12 hours didn't cut it. Now you're doing about 100 tweets an hour. You can also retweet someone else's tweets very easily. You can search for people on social media, Purple Power, with the hashtag Purple Power all typed together. Hashtag Purple Power. Tag Democratic senators, tag Democratic House members, tag progressives accounts, caucus accounts as well, and tag the chairs and vice chairs. Finally, if you don't use social media, use the old-fashioned way, the telephone. Call them up and speak to them and express why it's important to have stimulus checks. Remember, it is very important to understand that we are not fully recovered as an economy. On Thursday, the new jobless claims number were revealed, and the number of new unemployed people who were never unemployed during the pandemic, went up, showing that we still need more stimulus. So with that, make sure you stay here with this video, and right after this video is over, it sends you right into Overnight's Crypto, currently live underway with cryptocurrency really taking a dive. This channel expands into stock coverage in the next few days as well. So join me as stock coverage expands the coverage of this channel. But meantime, subscribe. 400,000 subscribers, a YouTube record. I want you to subscribe to this channel and don't miss a single video across the board. Like this video. It delivers free pizza. And it also improves the weather, and it also helps the algorithm ranking. And consider becoming a member and get delivered to you daily everything that's in third and fourth stimulus. Stay informed, stay focused, have a beautiful evening, and stay with LALATE.